Alright guys, well, spent a better part of today finishing up putting this thing together and getting everything where it needs to go. The gas tank's on. I gotta try to remember where I left off. Gas tank's got a fuel line punched in it. Let's see. Right there. What I do is I drill a little pinhole in the bottom of the tank. Then I stick an awl in it. I take the awl and I work it so that basically I don't have a sharp piece of metal, and it starts rolling the metal over on the inside so that when the hole is opened up for the fuel line, the edge of it isn't sharp. It's just rolled over on itself. But you gotta be gentle with it, or else it kind of wants to rip and crack. So after I get the hole set up in it, I take a piece of fuel line, I cut the top on an angle. See if that's the fuel line. I'll cut it on an angle like that. Now it's got a point to it. You can kind of feed it up into the tank, and it's got quite a bit of drag, but I keep pushing it all the way up until I can grab it out of the gas cap, and then I take a piece of brake line. Brake line like this. I cut off about 3/4 of an inch. And what I do is I take it over to the grinder and I kind of make it so it's thin on one end and fat on the other, and of course the thin end goes in the fuel line, and then I pull the fuel line back down and work it till you start seeing the metal part come through. And what that does is it keeps it so it can't pull out any further, but it keeps the walls from collapsing as it gets older. So that's what's in there now. So gas tank, the seat's final. I put all the guards back on, the exhaust is back on, the keeper for the belt is on, the wrench set up, the heat shield, and the air cleaner. Air cleaner is a one of those old school hand warmers. You know, I used to light here's the top of it. Internally, you would light this wick and it would glow a flame, and that kept you warm, and that was inside there. And then this actually went to a sock afterwards. So I cut that open, cut the top off on the inside, ripped all the packing material out of it that was for the oil, got rid of that, and took a hole saw, cut the hole for where it goes into the intake, and then 2 little holes next to it, and it's actually got 2 holes back behind it, and that's where you're able to get a screwdriver to run the 2 screws in and to hold it. Packed it with the foam, put a spring on it. It's got a lot of tension on it, but it probably will rattle out over time. I just put a spring across it to help hold it together. And then I also took the primer bulb and ran the primer bulb through it and out one of the holes of the side there to give that a place to mount. 2 things I'm still trying to figure out yet is a throttle cable and the kill switch, where I want to put those 2 things. And right now it has neither. But I figure we can go fire her up. It's cold. We should be good to go. I don't know where the throttle's going to end up, if that's going to be enough throttle or not, and we should probably do. Find a regular screwdriver. We'll turn it up. Because before it had a spring tension on here, and it just it would hold it at a certain RPM. I had this thing on it, and that was screwed to the side of the block like this, and to adjust the throttle speed, you would loosen that screw and you would just slide it forward and back and give it more or less pressure on the governor. Oh, and the last thing also is I forgot to put the thing in for the seat to lock the seat down, so I welded 2 nuts on there. And this is the old kind of seat clamp, because it used to be on top right under the seat. I ended up cutting that off to get the seat as low as possible, but you still have to be able to tighten the seat down. So I put a cut in the back of this pipe, probably about that long, and then weld the 2 nuts on it and put the original keeper on it so that you can, anyway, that flips forward. You can loosen it, adjust the seat height if you actually wanted to. So we can pop you on the bench or toolbox or something. What's going to be a good view? I'm going to be back here. Is that too far away? Yeah. Shining right at the vise. bear with me. Or fast forward, whatever you prefer. Okay. All right, let's give her. Think that way, Stroke. 2 primers. Pull starts noise, you gotta go deal with that. But other than that, it sounds good, don't it? I think she'll be just fine. Unfortunately, the cold weather is here. I don't know what we're gonna do for rides, but so be it. Alright guys, again, thanks for watching, comment, subscribing. I see if I button up a couple little things, see if I get that throttle and a kill switch set up. And then pretty much I think it's good for a ride. And guys are asking for brakes. What's it got for brakes? You pedal forward, pedal backwards. Turns the brakes on. I gotta make a keeper for the lever. Alright. Take care. Good night.